So my name is Rebecca Wilson, and I teach at Corpus Christi Catholic School. I've been here for 20 years. I've taught all grade levels from kindergarten through 8th grade, and I'm currently the reading and math support specialist.
So hi, I'm Leilani Doyle, and I have 7 kids, and we used to homeschool, and our other kids transitioned into school after a few years.
Hi, my name is Heather Mell, and I have worked with my son Gabriel through Foundations and Sounds.
So in working with John, I discovered that this is a little boy that is very eager to learn. He's very eager to please.
He's just so kind, and the moment he meets someone, he's their friend.
So Anthony, very active little boy, loves sports, loves playing with his brothers, kids outside, soccer, football, baseball, anything like that. Always loved school. It just really fit him, the structure of school, being with the kids and learning, and he loved it. And we saw as the other kids were learning to read, he was getting teary-eyed, and he would be frustrated and irritable, and he would come home very unhappy from school, and that was a real departure for him. And so I was trying to help him, and he would just melt down at home, and it was heartbreaking and I couldn't figure out what to do.
When I started teaching him to read, he would get so frustrated, even with small things, like if we came to the letter A in a sentence and he couldn't remember what sound it was supposed to make, and it was just an A all by itself, and he would even bang his little head on the table in total frustration.
In John's case, he lacked the ability to distinguish those sounds when he heard them and when he said them.
I remember the day he came home and they were starting spelling words in school, and I thought it would be fun to put the spelling words on cards and around the house and try to work on those. And he completely fell apart and started ripping them off the walls and throwing them and crying and yelling, and I was trying to figure out what was wrong. I was trying to make it fun for him to help, and what I came to realize is he had no idea. He had no idea not only what those letters were, but let alone how to put them together into a word for a spelling word. And he was crushed, and he felt stupid, and he didn't want to do it. And he would go and hide behind a chair and just sob.
When he was screened for beginning an Orton Gillingham-based program, it was determined that he was just not ready. He didn't have the sounds.
I knew that my father had been dyslexic or was dyslexic. He had told me his stories about struggling with dyslexia.
We got him tested and found out that he had dyslexia.
Yeah, my own personal knowledge of dyslexia has been sketchy at best. Of course, I'd heard of it, but I never knew exactly what to recognize. I could identify a kid that was having trouble, but I never knew exactly what that entailed, or really how the best way that I could help them.
With 7 kids, you think you have it all figured out, and then they're all unique, they're all individual, and you have to acknowledge the difficulties and struggles that each one has, and it's been a huge one for Anthony.
I started talking to my friends about what to do, because although I suspected that it was dyslexia, I had no idea what to do about it.
He couldn't even recognize a single sound. He couldn't recognize a single letter. So we really needed something to fill in the gaps before we could even start a dyslexia program. And Foundations and Sounds stepped in, and we were able to start on day 1 figuring out the sounds, and not without the pressure of the letters or the different other reading things that he had been exposed to. And it was fun for him, and it was our special time.
It has worked fantastically for John. I began working with him just with basic sounds. No letters, nothing to connect visual to sound at this point, just so that he could hear and distinguish the sounds. Then we started linking sounds together, and he did a fantastic job.
The Foundations in Sounds program did exactly what it was designed and intended to do. It helped him hear the sounds correctly. It helped him distinguish between really hard sounds like f and t and ch.
John is now in the second level of Barton, and so we are now looking at actual letters, and he's manipulating the tiles with letters and starting to write words. And just yesterday we started reading sentences, and he is making very good progress with that. And again, I think that his frustration that he wasn't catching up to his classmates was very evident before we reached level 2. Now that we're in level 2 and that he is actually dealing with words, his confidence is up. He knows that he can stand on his own among his peers, and there's not the concern that he's so far behind them anymore.
He's just now finishing level 4 and in the Barton program. Very excited. He's been able to start reading many of the Barton reading and spelling books, and he's even been able to start reading his little Bible that he has. So he's very, very encouraged, not only with the Barton reading and spelling system, but just with the Sounds program, the Foundation in Sounds program that helped us to get ready for the Barton reading and spelling system.
So one day, Anthony got in the mail a gift card for McDonald's and from his godmother for a surprise. And he said, "Mom, I want to take you and buy you a drink and some French fries for us to share, because you've been helping me learn to read, and I appreciate that." And that right there, gets to a mom.
It's such a good way for families to meet those needs, because it really does have to be an individual, one-on-one type of situation. And I'm just happy that I'm able to help out, and the couple of kids that I'm able to be involved with.